Hello everyone, Toofelhoont here, and welcome back. Today we're continuing our Total Novice series as we jump into another faction of Warhammer 3 and try to understand their basics in less than 60 minutes. As a reminder, this is about incremental learning for me, so I'm trying to learn things in bite-sized pieces to progress my skill level. My focus is first on faction-based mechanics and which ones I feel comfortable with. Last episode we tried the Tomb Kings, and honestly, I walked away feeling pretty good about using them to learn the game with. So there's at least one. Stick around. Who knows? You may learn something yourself. If you like the video, me, or the game, feel free to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. If you're feeling really rebellious, you can always leave a comment and share a thought or three. You never know. It might be worth it. So let's head over to our random wheel and see who we pull this time. Our next faction up looks like it's going to be Nurgle. This will be interesting. I have no idea what a Nurgle is. Let's get started. Okay, here we are. Nurgle. Got Nurgle. Now, we've got 2 of 3 lords here. I don't have Tamarkon, the maggot host guy. Although he watched some videos, he looks pretty freaky. So I've got 2 options here. I got this Kugath dude. I just get a sense of what he does, so I have an idea of if I want to roll with him as an additional blessed symptom. If I knew what a blessed symptom was, maybe I would know that's good. He's got plus 10 growth, plus 10% for all demonic units. That would be good if I was going to have a lot of those. Again, I've never played Nurgle before, by the way. I don't even know what a Nurgle is. So this will be brand spanking new. Their mechanics are going to be very new to me. Or, whoa. Holy cow. He looks like he's having a bad day. Epidemis. Powerful rewards based on number of plagues on non-Nurgle factions. Cycle time for... Holy cow, I don't even know what's going on here. Alright, so let's go with this first guy. This first guy looks like maybe he's a little bit more basic out of the gate. I don't know if that's the case, but yeah, we're going to go ahead and go with Kugath, Plague Father. Let's do this. It's Nurgle time.
We shall shower our foes in plague, pox, violence, and sickness. They revel in the rot.
All right. Okay, so let's see how they play. Poxmakers of Nurgle. Use infections accumulated throughout the game to concoct plagues that can be spread throughout the world for a variety of favorable effects, in turn earning more infections, okay? Observe the organic cycles of Nurglish building chains to optimize recruitment and building effects. Okay. Use plagues and other means to spread Nurgle's corruption promoting growth within your provinces. Ensure the spread of Nurgle corruption to aid his participation in the great game and unlock unholy manifestations that can greatly benefit your plague and unit members. All right, wow. All right. They're already sounding like I'm just gonna be totally serious here. They're already sounding overwhelming to me with the whole plague thing and how this works. So we're gonna have to see how this feels. Let's go ahead and hit our trusty escape button, see if there's any more information for us. Oh, there's a lot of information. All right, there's a lot of information. So I'm gonna do what we did for Ogre Kingdoms. I'm gonna go ahead and read through this. Feel free to just pause the video if you'd like to go ahead and read it yourself, and we'll be back after I've read this. Okay, I just did a lot of reading, and I'm going to be honest with you, not a lot of understanding. So we'll have to see how this goes. All right, let's go ahead and do. Let's start with our normal stuff here. We're going to go ahead and research. We've got 2 options. Oh no, it looks like we got 2 tabs. So magic item drop chance plus 10, and casualty plus 10. Campaign line of sight plus 15% for settlements and plus 1 control. That sounds good. That's a pretty good basic generic one, I feel like. Fecundity. Army ability, all armies. Let's see. Army ability, chain regeneration. Okay, this is an army ability. Will spread to friends within the spread range meters of affects up to 5 units. Replenishes hit points of combatants. Well, that doesn't sound bad. Let's go ahead and get the heal first, I guess. All right. So we've done that. Okay. Let's throw this guy in here. What do we got? We got a plague ridden. A Nurgle plague ridden. Let's see what this guy's all about here. Let's see what he's all about. Armor, weapon strength, so it looks like he is melee. But miasma of pestilence. Charge bonus minus 40% and melee attack minus 24%. Passive ability, he gets a bump to his melee defense. Banished. Causes severe damage to self. I wonder if... So this is very similar to Tomb Kings, something that they have in theirs. So I wonder if that's just a thing I need to be looking for on everybody, I guess. Spell mastery. Beastly. Recruitment cost for war beast units. Okay. And then here's old Kugath Plaguefather. I don't even know what he does. Let's see. All right, so he's got some range to him, actually. All right, he's got some range. Maybe a little almost artillery type of thing. Stream of Corruption. Spell, Lore of Nurgle. It's a breath. Okay. That Miasma of Pestilence. He's going to deal damage to himself. Plague Weaver. All right. Okay, so let's just do this. We know we're going to throw him in here as we do. Looks like we're in some archipelago islands. I think that's how one might pronounce that. It looks like our base is back here. All right. Well, we're going to do what we always do, right? And that's we're going to attack this first guy. And, you know, after our Tomb Kings episode, I'm wondering if attacking the freebie and then going after the settlement on the same turn 1, is the way to go, to just allow us to get a little further ahead early rather than dealing with more enemies. So let's go ahead and do this here. We'll check diplomacy after here. Okay, so Curse of the Slug. Interesting. Oh, that's our army. Or no, that's not our army thing. We haven't learned that yet. All right, let's see what units we have here. Nurglings, they have poison attack. They have no armor. Okay. Plague Bearers of Nurgle. These guys have poison attacks. They're sword infantry. Hey, Plague Toads. Anti-infantry poison attacks. Are they ranged? They're not ranged. Okay. Do they have a charge bonus? They do have a little bit of a charge bonus. Chaos Furies. Very fast Vanguard deployment. Flying melee. They have a little bit of a charge bonus. So there'll certainly be some harassers. Plague Drones of Nurgle. Armor Piercing. Armor Piercing, special ranged weapon and poison attacks. Missile strength 113. Okay. So we've got a couple of flyers. 1 infantry and 1 missile. All right, what are we up against? We're up against Niglaxi. He looks like he's just a beast. Armored, shielded, armor piercing. Saurus spears, anti-large. I don't think we saw large anywhere, did we? Oh, our toads are large. Our toads are large, and our plague drones are large. Okay, so we want to keep them away from the spears. Here's some basic infantry, and then we've got skink skirmishers, and we're going to go after the skink skirmishers with our chaos furies and our plague drones. It says close victory. It says close victory right now. Casualties low. We're going to play it out like we always do. Let's do it. Okay, here we are. Start deployment. So remember, one of the things I'm working on is my... I don't want to group those together. Is my muscle memory for control groups. So I'm just going to do this really early on, just to kind of show you what I mean. Here are going to be melee. So these are melee guys here. And I'm guessing they're our fodder, right? And our plague bearers have poison attacks, and they're more melee units. So I think what we're going to do is this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put these all in group 2. Because this is our frontline group. All right, our plague toads are going to be a flanker, and they're going to flank infantry, of course. And then we've got this is a flyer. This is flyer 1, who can't be hidden because they fly above the trees. And here's flyer 2, who can they start way up here? Oh, they can start way up here. Let's see. I'm curious what the enemy's going to do on this. Okay, so with, let's go ahead and actually, let's do this. Let's group our anti-infantry together here. And we're going to lock that. Okay. All right. There's our Curse of the Slug. That's going to slow their speed and charge speed down. Let's go ahead and get this battle started. Let's see how we do. Okay, well, we got ourselves a close victory, which I think is what they said we were going to get anyway. Let's take a look and see how we did. All right, well, it wasn't the cleanest fight, but for the most part, we didn't take a lot of damage. This hero got stuck out there, and he ended up tanking a bunch of damage, but I did do pretty good managing my flying units. My toads got no kills. I guess sad face, but I did a good job managing my flying units. So, you know what I forgot to do? I mentioned this in the Tomb Kings episode of having a strategy or a plan, like what my specific units are going to be doing, so that I have that going into it, and I forgot to do that this time, so shame on me. Remember, I'm a noob. Okay, we have options. We have infections. We can devour for replenishment, or we can get money. We're going to do infections. Because we know infections have some... we know infections help. We're not 100% yet sure how they help, but we know they help. Let's go ahead and... So we got a level, and we got an item. So we got the Brass Cleaver here. Passive ability, the Brass Cleaver. Melee attack +8. Well, I mean, I don't think... I think this guy should have it before the other guy, right? So I think we're going to give it to him. Kugath, I don't plan on getting into melee. Not on purpose. Okay, so same things here. We got our route marcher line, right? We've got our red line, which is a buff to units. We've got our spell casting line. We're going to do what we always do, start with route marcher, just for a little bit of extra movement. All right, so this guy here. Let's see. Children of Nurgle, passive ability. Oh. Passive ability. So when he casts a spell, we could get a healer regen. And if that... I see. Is this the... Wait a second. So Children of Nurgle. Triggers when casting spell, replenishes hit points of combatants, affects allies in range, enabled to cast. Okay, so I think I want to build him up as a melee. This totally could be the wrong play, but for the 10 or so turns that we actually play with Nurgle, I think that's what we're going to do. I want to check the garrison here. Is this a Shattered Stone Isle? They've got some skinks. All right. So again, thinking what we want to do is do our best to take this place as well. This very same turn. It's a decisive victory. Low. Let's see what the field looks like. I do want to fight some of these, even as we're learning the mechanics. If I get an open field, I'll fight them, and I'll just show you guys the results. Okay, so let's fight this one as well. Okay. So in theory, this should not be that hard. Because they're all skinks. So. Group.
Share your blessed infections.
Okay. Decisive victory this time. We took quite a bit of damage. I mean, we took some damage. I don't know. We'll have to check to see if it was quite a bit. Let's take a look. All right. So, I mean, we took some damage. I guess quite a bit. That really wasn't necessarily accurate. Kugath had 108 kills. I was casting his spell quite a bit. Although I did realize that Nurgle can still take damage from his spells. So I did see some friendly fire happen. My toads got in on it big time this game. Big time this game. Or that fight there. That fight. Okay. So. I mean, we're gonna. So we could loot and occupy. We get some money and we get some infection. They're just gonna hate us for a while. I don't know if that's really ever worth it, to be completely honest with you, because of the conquest, because of the penalties that stack. So we're just going to go ahead and occupy for now. All right, so what we've effectively done so far is pretty much what we are bound to do the first turn of every faction if opportunity is there, right? So we haven't even looked at the faction stuff, so let's go ahead and just get into the build. Actually, let's take a look at the faction stuff a little bit before we get into the buildings. So let's look at this unholy manifestations here. Okay. Pestilence growth. Cooldown upon activation is 15 turns. Recruitment cost is minus 15%, and recruitment health plus 10% for all units. All right. Duration's 2 turns. So, like, I feel like that's something you want to throw on right before you're going to recruit, right? Does that make sense? I mean, it makes sense in my head, right? Like, and we're probably going to recruit because we're going to be sitting here doing nothing. Okay, so if we take a look here, I mean, we're definitely going to be recruiting. We've got to fill the army out, right? So yeah, I think we will. We're gonna perform that. Let's perform that. Pestilent growth. We're gonna perform that. And then what that should mean is recruiting will be cheaper. And if we look, recruitment health plus 10% for all units. So I take that to mean that the units are going to come in with 10% more health when I recruit them, is how I'm taking that. Because we'll find out whether or not that's the case. Beast of Nurgle. Okay, what do we got here? We have Plague Bearers. Okay, they're available. And they seem to be pretty good. Like, compared to the Nurglings, let's compare the Plague Bearers and the Nurglings. I mean, wow. Okay, they're like twice the cost, though. So our Nurglings have got to be our fodder, right? Nurglings must be our fodder. What is this Beast of Nurgle? It's a monster. Armor piercing, regeneration, and poison attacks. Okay. All right, so we'll probably get one of those. I definitely want another Plague Toad. It says summon units. So, and I don't see a... I don't see a cap here. You know how, like, in some factions you have certain amount of spots that you can recruit each turn? So let's see how this works. I want a Plague Toad for sure. Probably should get a couple of those, but right now we're gonna get one. Let's try to get the big Betty here. Let's get a couple of these. We'll get 3 more of those. And then we'll get one of these. And let's click recruit. Alright, so this is an expensive army we can see. 2,940, whatever that is. Income, I suppose. Alright, so we didn't fill our army out. We really can't afford to. Alright, so we've done all of that. Let's go back to our buildings now. Alright, Dragon Fang Mount. So let's go to our building browser and let's look at Dragon Fang Mount real quick. We have an open build slot here. And what are our options? So we have... Oh, look at this. Okay, so in order for us to get recruitment buildings, so unit buildings, we actually have to have infections. Okay, we have to have infections in order to get... these. 200 infections is what it says. All right, that's good to know. Resource. Plague duration plus 1. That sounds like it would be a big deal. Chance of plague spreading plus 10% local region. But I want to go... I'm looking for... Oh, 10%. Okay. 10 per turn infections. That sounds like it could be worth it. Income generated. Growth. Okay, we're going to go growth. We're going to go growth in this building slot right here. We've got some unassigned skill points. So we took Route Marcher. Does he have... He has Children of Nurgle. Triggers when casting a spell. Replenishes hit points of combatants. All right, so we're going to do that so that we can unlock that. All right. And our other feller did not get quest. Okay. All right, so, I mean, let's check diplomacy real quick. Just a quick deal. So we haven't found anybody, but the people that we have found basically don't like us. Makes sense. I mean, we're... I don't know what we are. were monstrosities of Nurgle. I've picked up that Nurgle is a deity itself. Okay, so like, so far, infections are a big deal because infections are a big deal because they allow us to build. So maybe I should have built an army building, but didn't I choose a building to build there? Yeah, I chose. Did I must have backed it off or something like that. Dragon Fang Mount. I mean, this is not the capital. I see. This isn't the capital. All right, so then let's go with growth. Let's go with growth. All right, let's go ahead and end turn 1. See what happens. Okay. Well, that turn's over. All right. So we just don't have a lot of money. We don't want our money sitting here, though. We don't want our money sitting here. So let's go back and look. So we're not going to be able to build or upgrade anything until we get growth. And this requires 2 growth here for that space. We need to go get Dreadrock. We need to get Dreadrock here. So I'm thinking the faster we get to Dreadrock, the less likely there is of something big and ugly waiting for us. Let's see what kind of garrison Dreadrock has. They've got a beefy garrison, and we see, look, here's the deal. We see it, here's Dreadrock, their garrison, and we see another lord up here who is no doubt recruiting. That's going to be our big fight right there. I appear to be able to recruit with a cost. So it does cost me, yes. But I can recruit without delay. I can recruit without delay. But I've only got 3,230, so I could fill up with more fodder. I could get a couple of more of the anti-infantry toads, which, if we go here and look at the garrison, they've got a lot. Oh, actually, they're considered all infantry. So do I? You know what? Let's grab. I'm gonna grab. We're only able to grab one more unit or one more toad. One more toad. Are these a number of units currently available for recruitment from this pool? I see. Okay. All right. So I can get. Well, then I might as well get one of each. Might as well get one of each. There's a lot of units here for us to get. We just haven't unlocked the ability to do so. All right, so we've recruited, and recruiting appears to be.
This experiment requires.
Recruiting appears to be instantaneous, which is great. Love it. Okay. All right, we've moved. Now, what we haven't really gotten involved in yet are the plagues. Plagues will become accessible after earning 200 infections. Earning 200 infections. All right, so I'm at 116 out of 200. So we're going to play until we at least unlock plagues, because that's a faction mechanic that we need to at least experience in a way. All right, skill points for Adipus. All right, Adipus, so I need to make sure that you can stay alive. I think we're going to give you some armor. And did Kugat didn't. Okay. All right, so still waiting on tech. We've got a full army, or full-ish army, for the money that we have. We don't have a lot of income coming in, so we're gonna have to keep that in mind. We're ready to start. Go to the next turn, because I don't think I can attack him. I don't have the movement to attack. Okay, next turn. All right, army ability Fecundity. Fecundity. It's an army ability. Will spread to friends within the spread range meters of effective unit. Affects up to and replenishes hit points. I like that. So some army heals, it sounds like. Let's take a look at our tech. Plague Beasts. Recruit rank. +1 for Great Unclean One. Okay, so we would recruit those specific units stronger if they get stronger melee attacks. Same thing for over here. Same thing for over here in the military tree. Okay, we do see here that infections are going to also be required to unlock certain, probably, gate-kept type of technologies. Magic item drop chance. I'm really not concerned about that one. Campaign line of sight. I think we're going to go ahead and go with this one now.
An aid to the plague crusade.
If we go to encamp, we cannot currently summon units, so I can't summon units. Alright, well. Can we? I don't think we can attack this place in an ambush and have it really matter. Okay, but we're going to attack it. We want to do this before the other army is reinforced and gets down here. Okay, so what do we have going on here? We can actually siege this place. This is a close victory. We would lose one of our plague toads. I'm going to guess it's a city map. Yeah, it's a city map. So I want to say that what I should be able to do here, it's a city map, not good at those, probably going to take a whole lot more damage if I play this out myself. So what I'm going to do is actually siege. I want to get a siege on these guys. Whoops, I didn't create, I want to create a siege tower and a battering ram. I'll siege them for 2 turns. That should give them attrition, and then we'll check to see what the auto-resolve is, and it would not surprise me if the auto-resolve actually shows that we would be able to take it without losing a unit. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do. And continue siege. We can't do anything over here. Okay, so our turn is done. Let's move into turn 4. So what I'm watching very specifically is this lord up here. He hasn't moved down yet. I need to give this one more turn. Let's see how the siege is going right now. All right, they've got a little bit of attrition. If we were to auto-resolve it, we still lose our plague toads. Let's go ahead and continue the siege. Let's go into turn 5.
Disease and decay are the primary weapons of your fetid kin. Those fortunate enough to survive battle with you will return and spread your contagions amongst their own kind. Such is the Plague Lord's bidding.
Okay. Alright, so a rotten concoction create a new plague. Just like the Plague Lord himself, followers of Nurgle cannot resist combining and recombining strains of disease, contaminating their own bodies with the intention of infecting everyone whom they come into contact. The Plagues panel allows Nurgle factions to create plagues on the campaign map in return for infections. Plagues can cause positive effects for Nurgle factions or negative effects for non-Nurgle factions. So where is my Plagues panel? It's right there. But I need to get more infections. Okay. Alright. Still going to lose those. This guy up there, we're going to go ahead and auto-resolve this because that lord up there is collecting units, and I want to have this before he's ready. We're going to occupy. Occupy Dreadrock. Okay, so let's get a couple of things done here. Let's go ahead and do our technology. Growth all provinces. Like that, like that. And we're going to level. Children of Nurgle. Yes. I like the sound of that one for Kugath. All right, let's see here. Rancid Visitations. Direct damage. Damage per second. Range 100. Strong versus 1 character. Causes damage to... Okay. Curse of the Leper. Reflects melee damage dealt to unit back at the attacker. All right, that sounds interesting. Stream of Corruption. Breath weapon, or breath attack. 100 meters. This is a breath weapon also. How much do you cost? No, that's not the breath weapon. How many wins of magic? 15 versus... Oh, this might be what I already have. The versus 8. Wow. This is 36 damage per second. It lasts for 3 seconds. 100 meters. Can be 2 to 3 times the damage. Lasts for 10 seconds. Yeah, okay. So let's go ahead and put a point into there. And let's put a second point into there. Oh, we've spent both our points. I'm just seeing if you guys are paying attention is all. That's it. All right, let's give him more armor. Okay. So we've got a little bit of money. But nobody here to recruit. Probably need to save our money up. In 2 turns, we're going to have some growth, so that's good. So we're going to go ahead and end our turn. So we're up to 361. We've got 161 infections. We just won that fight, so we should have received some infection from that. Let's see what happens. Let's head into turn 6. All right, let's see. Brown note. Brown note. Control -7. This lord up here continues to recruit himself an army.
I must test my
We have no units available. And I wonder if that's because... Alright, so we can go up. Let's go ahead and take this. Take Dreadrock up a level. We've got 181 infections. So closing in on our 200. That's kind of what we're waiting for. The question is, and I think the answer has to be, we have to go over this before this guy fills up his army. I think we have to go for him. I think before his army is filled up, we have to go for him. So my question is, let's go ahead and...
No time to tarry.
If I move here, will I remain in casualty replenishment? I will. Okay. And then next turn, I should have the movement, unless I can't float over water, which would make total sense, in which case I need to go all the way back over here. I think I completely messed that up. Alright, well, I think I completely messed that up, because I'm sure he can't float over water. Maybe he can. I'm doubting he can. And I didn't recognize that. Alright, well, we go into turn 7. Infections can now be spent to concoct and spread plagues through the world. Alright, let's...
The wretches that inhabit these lands must be bent to the customs of the Plague Lord. Spread your pestilent corruption here, for the influence of Grandfather Nurgle is the catalyst for all growth and decay.
Is it just me, or does it feel like,
Your demonic kin are empowered by the winds of magic blowing strongly across the skies. Their energies course through you.
I dream of decay.
So is it just me, or does it seem really silly to reference Nurgle as a grandfather? I mean, I could be wrong here. It just seems really, really, really weird to reference Nurgle as a grandfather. All right. So it looks like I could move over here. If I go within camp, I can. So I must have to... This is probably going to push... Oh, you know what? I need a little bit more... Oh, no, I made the same mistake as last time. I did not want to be within the radius of the garrison. I may not be, actually. Maybe the garrison may only be able to help. Although, that means that lord might not be able to come out and attack me because I'm on water. We'll have to see. All right. Let's see what's up with plagues here. Plagues panel allows Nurgle factions to create plagues on the campaign map in return for infections. Plagues can cause positive effects for Nurgle factions or negative effects for non-Nurgle factions. All plagues are made up of 3 symptoms from the panel, each providing both types of effects. Okay? Select 3 to create a plague. Number of plagues until new blessed symptoms and symptom locations. All right. Selecting an available symptom begins the creation of a new plague. Okay, it's not letting me select it. After selecting a starting symptom, only adjacent symptoms may be added to the plague. Okay, this makes sense. Adjacent symptoms will be highlighted in the panel as shown. Okay. Symptoms can also become blessed, boosting their effects. If a blessed symptom is used in a plague, it will consume its blessing, no longer having its boosted effects for the next one. When a symptom is selected for a new plague, its positive and negative effects for Nurgle and non-Nurgle factions, respectively, will be displayed here. Once 3 symptoms have been selected, the plague modifiers will become available to improve the new plague. Plagues can have their duration and chance to spread increased at the cost of infections. Immunity duration can also be reduced as part of a plague's modifier. Okay. This is the number of turns that a plagued non-Nurgle target will resist catching any new plagues after this one's effects expire. Okay. Before the plague can be created, it must be assigned a target where it will be released onto the campaign map. Only forces and settlements you own can be selected as a target, revealed using this button. Once a target for your plague is selected, you can choose one of 2 creation methods. The infect option directly infects your force or settlement with the plague from which it can spread. The summon cultist option brings forth a plague cultist who carries the plague to infect enemies directly via their agent action. For every 3 plagues created, symptom locations in the panel will randomize and new blessed symptoms will appear. And finally, any symptom previously used in a plague will become available as a starting symptom to create future plagues. All right. Ooh, that's a lot of information. Thanks for hanging in there with me. All right. So it looks like we have to start off here. Casualty replenishment plus 10%, or plague affects non-Nurgle enemies as attrition. All right, what's this? Growth plus 50? This symptom is blessed and has empowered effects. Nice. Vanguard deployment for all units. Melee defense. Let's do growth. Recruitment health. Plus 10% local recruitment capacity minus 1. Or Nurgle corruption. Yeah, let's do Nurgle corruption. All right, so for us, we'd get casualty replenishment rate, growth, and Nurgle corruption. For others, though, attrition, bad growth, and Nurgle corruption. Plague modifiers. Each modifier costs 50 infection. So each one costs 50 infection if I want to increase this here. Let's do reduce duration by 2 turns. Let's increase the duration by a turn. Let's do a spread. Oh, we don't have enough. Okay, we can do that much. Do not have enough infections. Shattered Stone Bay. Oh, cost to create plague is 400. You do not have enough infections. Shattered Stone Bay. Zoomed in nearest target.
Mark, look up.
We could infect me, which gives us the bonus. It said I don't have enough. Or summon cultist. Summon cultist at the selected target to bring forth the plague cultist who can only target enemies to spread the plague they carry. So is that the only way for me then? That must be the only way I can okay. So I did it. Oh, I missed the plague name. Let's go back. Pig barter. Scarp Towers. Oh, is this the oh, I see. Okay. I think that's showing everybody who has the likelihood of getting contaminated, plagued, whatever the word would be. Alright, we created our plague. Spread a plague. Here's my cultist guy.
Of the Fly Lord.
And I want to try to spread this.
Will bring
here.
ruin.
Hey, successful. Alright. Settlement infected. Nice job, dude. Oh, I was killed in the line of duty. I wonder if that happens to all of them.
The plague weave.
Alright, well, it looks like my turn's over. I got no move to take. I think we're going to expect to be attacked by this lord in the garrison, but maybe they can't attack over water. That's kind of what I'm hoping. Here we go. We're going to end the turn, go into turn 8. Alright. Dreadrock. Settlement Dreadrock has received a plague from the settlement Shatterstone Bay belonging to Teapot Spawn. Hey, that's great, right? Yeah, that's good for us. That's a bonus to us. Yeah, that's a bonus to us. All non-Nurgle armies and settlements. I guess it's a bonus as long as our armies are Nurgle, I suppose. Got a Berserker sword. Alright, this army, this Lord's army continues to grow. We need to... I really want to bait him out. Can we go into ambush here?
My new plague is
Let's go into ambush. Let's move a little bit further up. Technology. Defeated corpses. Campaign movement range. Yeah, that sounds like a good one. We got some building options here. Alright, we got growth 1. The next growth level is to 4,500. And we'll actually be there. So we're not gonna raise the, I want to improve Dreadrock. Because that's our capital. I'm gonna refer to it as a capital anyway. So looks like we could create another plague? No. No, we have to wait. Okay. So we're gonna skip that. Let's go into turn 9. I just want to see, if this Lord is gonna come out or not. He did not come out at me. Ambush foiled. One of our forces has been detected while attempting to ambush. Our army, led by Kugath, has received a plague from the settlement. Something in the water. Nurgle corruption +5. Recruit 30 plus new units. Okay. So, here's the thing. Okay. Have we experienced Nurgle's stuff? Let's see. Plagues. Yeah, we're messing around with plagues. Cyclical buildings. This is the recruitment piece where we found if the conditions are right. So we need infections and stuff like that. The Great Game. This one I don't think we've really gotten into yet. From time to time, a particular Chaos God may become ascendant. So that sounds like maybe that's a little bit later into the game. Unholy Manifestations is right here. And we messed around with that. So here's what I'd say. So we're going to attack this because it might just have to simply be a thing we do in every faction video of trying to hit something before we end. But here's what I've learned. If I compare them to the others. So I'd still put Tomb Kings at top because I get free armies and no upkeep. Super great. Super fantastic. Awesome. I do think I like Nurgle a little bit better than the Ogre Kings. It feels like their units, at least early on, are a little bit better, but that could just simply be my poor ability at playing Ogre Kings. So I think Nurgle's a hard maybe for me. I think they are a hard maybe for me. But we're going to go ahead and attack. I mean, we're going to be up against it here, but we're going to attack. See what happens. They're not taking attrition. I thought they were supposed to take attrition because they're we've got a close victory and we lose no units. That's interesting. I thought they would be taking attrition because of our plague, but none of them have taken any damage. Well, let's go ahead and auto-resolve it. Okay. Beat him down. We took a fair amount of damage, but remember, because we have the plague as well, we're going to get bonus. We get bonus replenishment from it. So that's a cool thing. And then we're going to occupy it.
Another laboratory for me.
Okay, so we have a commandment to issue. We got plagues popping up all over the place back home. Or I thought we did, but apparently we don't. We're up to... We've got enough money on Dreadrock where we can... Dreadrock's got another turn before it could do the next level here. We've got the population for it, though. Here's the cyclical stuff that they were talking about. You just have to have building slots for it. And then you have to have the infections for it. Okay. So, again, recap. I'd say Nurgle is a possibility. Not as Not as favored by me as Tomb Kings, but definitely more favored than Ogre Kings. So, we're learning, right? Hey, that's 3 factions down. Total Novice Boomhammer. That's what we're going to refer to this thing as. You guys could pass that along to all of your friends and family. That'd be great. For those of you who stuck around to watch this, I hope you're learning something. I really do, because I hope it's worth it. Thank you so much for sticking around. I do appreciate you for doing so. Hey, you know what? Until the next one, stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you soon.